Welcome back to Last Stand Prep. Now, you know I faced some extreme situations in my time. From the jungles of the Amazon to the scorching Sahara, I've learned that survival isn't about fancy gadgets. It's about resourcefulness and having the right mindset. Before we jump into the specifics, let's talk about prioritizing your needs. A survival kit is all about the essentials. At its core, you need to cover these 5 basic categories: water, food, shelter, first aid, and tools and fire. These are the pillars of survival, the things that can be the difference between making it out, or, well, you know. With $100, we're going to hit these categories as efficiently as possible. I'll walk you through the most budget-friendly options that still get the job done. Remember, this isn't about luxury, it's about surviving. Right, let's start with water. It's the most critical resource in any survival situation. Trust me, I've been there, gasping for even a drop in the most unforgiving environments. You need a reliable way to access and purify it, because the last thing you want is to be laid low by dehydration. That's a surefire way to end your journey quickly. Now for $10, I recommend a basic water filter. One option is the LifeStraw personal water filter. It's a lifesaver, literally. This little guy is portable, easy to use, and can filter up to 1,000 liters of contaminated water. That's enough to get you through a whole heap of trouble. Think of it like this: you're trekking through dense forest, miles from civilization. You stumble across a stagnant pool of water. It's not ideal, but with the LifeStraw, you can turn that murky water into a source of life. If you're looking to save even more, you can also grab a pack of water purification tablets for around $5. These work by adding a few drops of chemicals to dirty water, killing harmful pathogens. They're small, lightweight, and can be a real game changer in a pinch. I remember once in the Himalayas, caught in a blizzard with my supplies dwindling, I came across a stream, half frozen, but it was all I had. A few purification tablets later, and I had a fighting chance. Keep in mind that both the LifeStraw and purification tablets will keep you hydrated in an emergency, but always try to store extra water bottles as a backup. You never know when you'll find your next source. Now let's talk about food, one of the most crucial elements of survival. You've got to fuel the machine if you want to survive, and that means having the right food. And no, you don't need expensive freeze-dried meals to make a basic survival kit work. There are plenty of budget-friendly options. We're talking about efficiency and practicality here, making sure you get the most out of every dollar spent. For just $10, I recommend you buy a mix of calorie-dense energy bars and instant rice or oatmeal. These items are not only affordable but also easy to pack and carry. These are your survival staples, providing the energy you need to keep going when the going gets tough. They are lightweight and have a long shelf life. Energy bars, these are compact, lightweight, and packed with calories. They are perfect for quick energy boosts. You can find affordable options like Cliff Bars or store brands. These bars are often available in bulk, making them even more cost-effective. They might not be fancy, but they'll give you that much-needed boost when you're running on empty. Every bite counts when you're out in the wild. I remember once in the Alaskan wilderness, miles from my extraction point. The harsh conditions made every calorie count. I was running low on supplies, just a couple of energy bars left in my pack. Those bars were my lifeline. They weren't much, but they kept me going, kept me fueled until I reached safety. It's amazing how something so small can make such a big difference. Now, for a more substantial meal, instant rice or oatmeal is the way to go. These meals are not only filling, but also easy to prepare. A 4-pack of instant rice or a box of oatmeal can usually be found for under $5. This is a small price to pay for a meal that can keep you going. It's easy to prepare, just add hot water, and provides a lot of nutrition with minimal effort. This is crucial when you need to conserve energy. Imagine this: you've managed to find shelter and start a fire. The warmth and security are comforting, but you still need to eat. The last thing you want to do is spend hours foraging for food. Time and energy are precious resources in survival situations. That's where instant rice or oatmeal comes in. A quick hot meal can be a game changer. A quick hot meal can make all the difference, boosting your morale and giving you the energy to keep fighting. It's not just about physical strength, but mental resilience too. That's about 2 to 3 days of food for $10, which will cover your immediate energy needs in a crisis. It's a small investment for a significant return. Remember, this is about short-term survival, getting you through those critical first few days. With the right food, you can face any challenge that comes your way. Shelter protection from the elements. We've tackled water and food, now let's talk about shelter. Shelter is your shield against the harshness of nature. In any survival situation, staying dry and warm is key. Without proper shelter, the elements can quickly take a toll on your body. Exposure can be a silent killer, sapping your strength and willpower. Hypothermia and heat exhaustion are real threats. A basic emergency shelter doesn't have to be expensive. You can create effective protection with minimal investment. Remember, it's about improvisation and using what you have to your advantage. Creativity can be your best ally in survival. For around $10 you can get a Mylar emergency blanket or a tarp. These items are lightweight and easy to carry. Let's start with the Mylar blanket. This thing is incredible. It's a must-have in any survival kit. It's great for warmth and can retain up to 90% of your body heat. This can be a lifesaver in cold conditions. It's super lightweight and folds up to fit in your pocket. You can carry it anywhere without even noticing the weight. I've used Mylar blankets countless times in the wild. They've never let me down. I remember once in the Scottish Highlands caught in a torrential downpour. The weather was unforgiving, the wind was howling, the rain was icy cold, and I was soaked to the bone. It was a dire situation. I wrapped myself in that Mylar blanket, and it was like stepping into a warm embrace. It provided immediate relief. It might be thin, but don't underestimate its power to protect. It's a small item with a big impact. Now, a tarp is another essential piece of kit. It's versatile and can be used in various ways. A small emergency tarp can be used to create a shelter from the rain or sun. It's a multi-purpose tool. You can find these for under $10 and they're highly versatile. They can be a game changer in survival situations. You can string it up between trees, use it as a ground sheet, or even fashion a makeshift water collector. The possibilities are endless. I remember once in the Australian outback, the sun beating down relentlessly, the heat was unbearable. I was starting to feel the effects of heat exhaustion. My energy was draining fast. I found a rocky outcrop, strung up my tarp and created a small patch of shade. It was a lifesaver. It wasn't much, but it gave me a fighting chance, a place to rest and recover. Sometimes that's all you need. Both the Mylar blanket and the tarp are compact, easy to pack, and crucial for staying alive in the wild or during an emergency. They take up minimal space but offer maximum protection. They're simple yet effective tools that can make all the difference. In survival, simplicity often equates to reliability. First aid, patching yourself up. Next, we need to think about health and safety. Injuries happen, even to the most experienced adventurers. You don't need a full-blown medical kit, just a few key items to treat basic injuries. Remember, we're talking about stopping those minor cuts and scrapes from becoming major problems. For around $10 you can get a basic first aid kit that includes bandages, antiseptic wipes, and some pain relief meds. I also recommend adding tweezers and gauze pads for minor cuts and splinters. These are the essentials, the basics that can help you deal with most minor injuries. I remember once in the jungles of Borneo, I took a tumble down a steep embankment. I was banged up, bruised, and bleeding from a nasty gash on my arm. I used my first aid kit to clean the wound, stop the bleeding, and bandage it up. It wasn't pretty, but it did the job. You can often find pre-packaged kits in most stores, or you can build your own with these essentials. Just make sure it's small enough to fit in your kit and ready for quick access. Tools and fire. The essentials of survival. Now, we get to tools and fire, two of the most important things when prepping for survival in the wild. These aren't just tools, they're extensions of your own ingenuity, helping you to adapt and overcome the challenges of the wild. They are your lifeline when nature tests your limits. Let's start with a multi-tool, a compact and versatile piece of equipment. A basic multi-tool like a cheap Swiss Army knife or knockoff brand will run you about $10. It's affordable and incredibly useful. This tool will handle small tasks like cutting, opening cans, or making repairs. It's a compact solution for a variety of needs. It's your all-in-one solution for those everyday survival needs, making it indispensable in the wild. I remember once in the Canadian wilderness, my axe handle snapped in two. It was a dire situation. I was miles from civilization, with no way to cut firewood. The isolation was daunting. I used my trusty multi-tool to fashion a new handle from a sturdy branch. It took time and effort, but it was worth it. It wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. Next up, fire, another crucial element of survival. Fire is your friend, your source of warmth, light, and comfort in the wilderness. It's essential for cooking and protection. You can find fire starter kits for around $5 to $10. They are a small investment for a big return. I recommend something simple like ferro rods or matches in a waterproof container. These are reliable and easy to use. I always carry multiple ways to start a fire. Redundancy is key in survival situations. You never know when one method might fail you. Conditions can be unpredictable. Ferro rods are great because they work even when wet. They are dependable in adverse conditions. And a waterproof container ensures your matches are always dry and ready to go. Moisture can be a real challenge. Finally, I always recommend carrying some duct tape. It's incredibly versatile and can be a lifesaver. It's one of the most versatile survival tools you can carry. Its uses are almost limitless. A small roll typically costs about $2. It's a small price for such a valuable tool. You can use it to repair gear, create a splint for a broken limb, or even patch up a hole in your shelter. Its applications are endless. With these tools, you'll be able to start fires, fix gear, and handle any basic survival needs. They are your essentials. Remember, it's not about having the most expensive gear, but about knowing how to use what you have effectively. Skill and knowledge are your greatest assets. Your $100 survival kit, ready for anything. So, there you have it, a $100 survival kit that will get you through the essentials and more. Water, food, shelter, first aid, and the right tools, everything you need to survive. This kit can be built on a budget without sacrificing quality or practicality. Remember, prepping doesn't have to be expensive or complicated, you just need to be smart about where to spend and how to maximize the value of each item. It's about being resourceful, adaptable, and mentally prepared for whatever challenges come your way. Thanks for tuning in to Last Stand Prep. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you found this video helpful and informative. Let me know in the comments what your favorite budget prepping gear is and why. And as always, stay safe and stay prepared.